Hello again, everyone. Hope you are well on a Sunday. No fluff here. I'm just going to get right into topics. First, I have to mention this GoFundMe business. I mean, y'all probably already know what I'm talking about, but if you don't, the GoFundMe organization has frozen like $9 or $10 million that had been raised, given, or donated to the Canadian truckers, their organization, to keep them funded. And so that's a big mess, and they're just holding it. So people who donated have to go through some red tape just to get their money back, which is ridiculous, of course. They need to be called Go Fraud Me, because it sounds more like fraud than fund. And then I didn't realize till I think the last day or so, people are talking about it, that they keep like 40%, GoFundMe keeps like 40% of what is donated to them. I mean, why even use these guys? I mean, why not just give directly to the organization, PayPal, or, what am I trying to say? The Cash App. There's another one, Venmo. I've used Venmo before. So never had any problems. Or just give directly. So we need to think about that and definitely avoid using that place. Don't use the Fraud Me place. So, all right, I just had to get that off my chest. Anyway, most overlooked, I don't know if it's the most overlooked, but it's a often overlooked prep as far as SHTF. Now, this could be short-term SHTF, longer term, doesn't matter, or just preparation. This could be for your natural disasters. You don't have power for a week or less. Just all kinds of things. But as far as survival preps and just things we talk about a lot, of course, you have to have, your water, shelter, food, security, and those are mentioned a good bit. They're talked about in detail. But what a lot of folks don't talk about that much, now it's been mentioned in the comments here of some of my videos, but what's not talked about as much is cleanliness and being clean, sanitary. So just cleanliness in general, I believe it's often overlooked. We spend a lot of time stacking food, stacking personal protection gear and such as that, bug out bag, bug in bag, bug to mama bag, whatever you want to call it, dog food, water catchment. But don't forget the cleanliness stuff, even just your general cleaning supplies, okay? And I'll go into a bit of a list here in a second, but proper hygiene, I believe, would be key. I mean, if you look at history, as far as wars or even just protracted natural disasters, what a lot of people lose their lives over, is not necessarily, like in a war, more people die from disease or unsanitary conditions than a bullet or just whatever was causing the fighting itself. So staying clean, sanitary is huge. I mean, we must maintain that. We must be prepared to maintain it as best we can. If you don't have power or water services, that becomes a challenge. But there are some things we can do to be ready for that. I think it's just imperative. We really need to be, we take for granted in the good times like this, or just, times where you have access to everything in the stores, keeping our bodies clean, keeping that bacteria off, keeping the viruses, more at bay and covered up, keeping your body clean and covered up. Infections as well. It'll help avoid infections. So, Antibiotics. You may not have, depending on what may happen, you may not have access to modern medical medicine. Antibiotics, just something simple like that, So if you can, if there's a way, I don't know if there's a way to stock up on antibiotics. I know fish antibiotics is an option as well. So something to think about there as well. So soap, your personal cleaning, hygiene, female hygiene products, all of that. Think about all your toiletries, stock up as best you can on that. All right. Think about what you would do. What are you going to do with trash? It's going to build up. I mean, think about how much it builds up on a daily basis. So what are you going to do with trash and your waste? Of course, at the onset of any emergency, fill up all your bathtubs, fill up every container you possibly can while you still have water. All right. That way you can at least keep the toilets flushed a while, and you could even use that water if you needed to water plants, or even drink it if you have a filter of some sort. All right. So as far as trash or waste, what are you going to do with that? Burn it? Bury it? There's a couple of things just coming to mind. I may be leaving something out here, but that just comes to my mind. So think about that, and water, clean water, drinking water. All right. Things to stock up on, I would recommend, of course, your toilet paper and your wipes, but that may not be sustainable. No matter how much you have stocked up, or you think you're stocked up well, that may go quick. You may, not have as much as you think. The stores may be out quickly. They would be quick. They would be out of that quickly. So what is a backup for toilet paper? My father still likes to remind me of his younger years, where he grew up on a farm, and they didn't always have toilet paper. Toilet paper was a luxury at times for them. And I said, "What did you do?" He said, "Well, we had an outhouse." He said, "I remember the outhouse, and we always had a nice thick Sears catalog ready out there in that outhouse." And I'm like, "All right, then, okay, I got you. Respect, okay." So think about a backup to that. Soap, sanitizers, Clorox wipes, vinegar. Vinegar can be a good cleaning agent. Alcohol, bleach. Again, I'm probably leaving some things out, but things like Band-Aids, of course, your first aid stuff, Neosporin, your antibiotic creams and ointments. Make sure you're stocked up on that kind of thing as well. Something as simple as nail clippers. If yours are looking pretty bad and rugged, go ahead and replace them. They don't cost that much. Nail clippers, scissors, several pairs of scissors, large and small. Things like hydrogen peroxide, or something to pour, or like I said, alcohol. If you get a cut, you get a cut and you don't have access to urgent care or ER, we got to treat ourselves. We got to treat injuries. So hydrogen peroxide, things like that, to try to stave off infection. That'll be huge. Gloves, personal protective equipment, protective eyewear, gloves, like I mentioned that one, shoes, boots, hiking boots or work boots, something that's waterproof even would be great. Your rubber boots, extra shoes, extra socks. Socks is huge. All right. Hats, something to cover up with. If your hat's looking pretty flimsy, it's down, go ahead and replace it if you can. All right. Just cleaning supplies in general. Like I said, household cleaning supplies, Dollar Tree usually has a good deal on that kind of stuff as well. So let's just think about that. Think about cleanliness. It's going to be super important. All right. Share your thoughts on that. And I'll probably left some things out, so mention that, or what you do to stock up on that kind of thing. All right. Verse. We're continuing with Psalm 37. This is verse 7. This is verse 7. It says, "Be still before the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. A lot of wickedness going on out there, folks. From people that you don't expect it from, necessarily. A lot of wickedness, a lot of corruption to the core, man. I mean, all kind of levels out there. So let's keep our eyes focused on the Lord. Jesus is Lord, definitely as well. Okay. Share your thoughts. Take care of yourselves. God bless you. And I will see you soon.